Whatever those ranges you want it to make, it's up to you. Don't really care. Gray is doing the shadow back and is covering the net. If your 50 spills out back in front of net like this or goes straight down, Gray's able to turn and engage that. So Gray's position here is fine. We just need to fix Exo so we don't have two people rotating around in net, jacking each other off. We need someone to challenge this and someone to support it, right? One or the other. Boom, Gray gets the save because Crisp sucks. Follow through, no one's third again, right? If Gray takes this challenge, you stay net. SnoaF is extension. Chill. Inch up, boom. You're still sit. Free, up, save, right?
Yeah, it
Simple as
makes it. You see that, EXO?
Yeah.
That's part of the I'm like, you're cutting me off type shit. I don't understand.
yeah. Like
That's
SnoaF's
that's the
extension.
exact moment right
This is
there.
our first man, right? This guy's still in net, still recovering. In the trade-off of this, if SnoaF's like, there's no way this passes to me, and SnoaF calls third right now you pushing out makes sense, right? Now SnoaF starts here. Here's the setup. SnoaF's here instead. Up, follow through, right? We're not identifying third on defense. That's a big problem, right? It could be comm related. It could be standard rotation related, whatever it comes down to. You don't need comms to identify Exo's third here. If SnoaF obviously rotates behind you, we could trust him to go third as a teammate push up, right? And we won't need comms to do that either. But it makes it so much easier just to like click. It's like I was talking to someone about this with comms the other day. It might have been SnoaF in a conversation or someone that was talking to SnoaF. But like comms are literally they're trigger words. They're not meant for you to give a story. Oh, it's literally with Obro's stuff. Remember that?
Was it Obros or Blossom?
It was what was that? No, it
Obros
was
or
Obro's. I
Blossom?
remember it was
Did
Obro's.
you-
I remember now because Obro's was talking about how he just chills and ranked and whatnot. How comms never worked for him or some shit. I remember the story. I remember the conversation now. But literally, so like when it comes down to it, you can't tell a story when you're fucking playing when you're playing with your boys. You can't tell a story and still perform. You can't tell a story and have that actually make sense to someone else. Like if I'm like Exo's like, yo, I'm 32 boost, I'm gonna drive up and cover right behind you, Gray. It's too late. We're like, what the fuck do you like? What? Why would you say that? That's so much, you know? But it's like if SnoaF just says, yeah, I'm extended, right? Extended just means two. If Gray says I'm on the ball, right? That just means one. And if fucking Exo's like, oh, that's two, that's one, I'm three, done. Just trigger words, right? Two and one already filled, I'm three. Done as that, right? We triggered myself to identify third. Simple as that. In the same way, if SnoaF here says extended, all right, I'm third, right? Because you see there's no back pass, right? I'm third, wraps out, going out the last here. Then Exo
Yeah.
says, oh, we have a third, then I don't need to be a net, I can push out, right? And that makes the same motion. We have three, we have two, we have one, pushing his own ball, right? If this ball was passing into Exo, then of course this would be extension and this would be coming into one, right? Instead. But as it all comes through, right? Rotation's rotation. You're going to feel it out as you go. You're going to play the ball as you want to, right? But like those comms, they're triggers. They trigger you to fill your position where you need to. In the same way, if someone says, if you're setting up for a ball on the side here, a play on the side here, right? And your teammate calls mid, that triggers you to say, oh, maybe I should pass this mid, right? Maybe I should make that play happen. At the same time, if no one calls it, then that also indirectly triggers you to say, maybe I need to solo play this, right? People that play silently don't make team plays. Anyway, coming through, Exo, Gray, SnoaF stuck. Gray grabs backboard, gets the 50. Exo's extension cuts, SnoaF grabs back post. Exo cuts here, nice. Under the understanding of extension SnoaF, right? Just wait out for the absolute failure. Good job grabbing back post here. This is really strong. Dodging stealth, make sure out of the way of stealth. Maybe giving a little chip there. Could have fucked them up. It's fine. 50 here is playing for fine. I prefer if you're just facing the net and still facing the cross net like this still a little bit, just a little bit slower. Then turning in. Don't need to pre-flip forward as third, right? Don't be a monkey. Monkey plays are for monkeys. Don't be a monkey. Unless you want to be a monkey and not get to all CS, then sure, continue being a monkey. Drive up, grab your 12s, right? Wrap. Stay third for Crisp or someone else to intercept. Exo's going to pass to Gray. Gray's going to shoot the ball. Exo's going to shoot the ball. None of these plays between them play into you being this close. The only play that plays into you is when this goes into a pass and shot and this guy clutches up and clears it like this. Are you ready to cover that?
Yeah, we talked about our third man sitting deeper. We mentioned that a while ago too. Because it seems like all of our third man plays we were too close.
At the end of the day,
I'm not just calling you out stuff, just in
a,
general.
a simple and pretty great way to identify or to think about positions in general is exorari's intended play is to shoot or to pass into second. If you're not second man, you're not the intended play. So be the unintended play. The unintended play is absolute failure. They get saved by someone and it gets cleared out, right? When you're the unintended play, you're covering that wide range of options that are unintended. Behind Gray, behind Exo, covering the third man range, the counter clear right here, right? You want to be covering this to the best of your ability. Yes, you could turn out shadow this and bring it back to your side, but like, would you rather You know, it's a literally would you rather situation. Yes, you could get the ball either way, but would you rather bring it back or to the sidewall like this, or would you rather counterattack with a solo play like this? You know what I mean? Which one would you rather have? And that's the difference between the third man's when it comes down to having a aggressive but neutral facing third man like so, or defensive and aggressive facing third man like so. That's the real difference. And so, yes, you'll never get scored on either side of this, but would you rather have this or would you rather have these? You know, which one would you rather have? And I'm sure any of you would realize that you'd rather have the 100 boost, getting the counterattack for whatever save they get. It's a free goal, so it's a free goal, but you didn't need to be a part of that, right? Which is the main other argument of this. But if Niebuhr gets the save here last second because exorari makes a bad shot, bang, pinches out like this, we don't have SnoaF turning around to get a possession back. We'd have 100 boost, counterattack, free solo play. Gray takes a demo, exorari takes a demo. It's an open net, right? Or in the same way, one of them rotates out, one of them takes a demo. It's a 50-50 at worst, right? And that follows through the next opportunity. Boom, follow through, bang, corner, exo, bang, gray, boom. Okay, so this play here, what kind of play is this?
2 to 3. I don't know what
Extension. 1, 3,
I'm stupid.
1, extension, lateral, 3 to 1, lateral pass to 3. It's a trust play. It's a trust play. That's what it is. It's a trust play. Yeah. All right. So we have a free touch from a free touch. Is this a good trust play?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
it's good. This is a good time to do it. Free touch here, open net
Dude.
possibility. Crisp gets the save either way, but there's an open net possibility, right? That's the main thing. So this is a good time to do it. 100%. This is a good trust play, right? This is a perfectly fine time to do it. When we're doing this, this is a great time to talk about this as well because we can watch Gray's point of view, right? Gray here is third. Ideally doesn't boost in here because there's no guarantee of anything yet. Just take your time, save your boost, right? Makes everything a little bit easier at the end of it. And also at the same time, we just cleared the ball, which means Crisp might have a free counter clear from the backboard, right? So chill out, take your time. Here's the free touch from Exo. You start boosting it here, call the mid, boom. Maybe take a little bit later of a shot either way or take that 50. This is not the greatest pass for a trust play overall, right? You want to try
That's a
and
little
get,
far.
yeah, a little far overall. It ideally, when we get these, we want to be making a direct lateral pass, right? Or a little bit behind because our third man's always going to be a little late because he's third man, right? His main focus before this was to save the counterattack, right? Defend, right? So for him to show up aggressively for a lateral pass is a little extreme, right? So you always want to be getting this down to the point. And this is where the mechanic side of things come in. This mechanical hit here wasn't so bad to where we got scored on. But if it was a little more aggressive, then he could have easily passed this to his extension over here while Gray's turning around. And this could have got him played around him real quick, right? And that's where this ends up becoming really risky. Is if we don't have ideal mechanics. Like I said, you have to trust your teammates to have those mechanics. If we don't trust our teammates to have the mechanics, then we don't do this, right? Granted, great call on it, Gray. If you called the midfield pass here, right? Ideally, when you're pushing through this, you see the free touch pretty early, and you say like mid, like right there when I called it, right? You call it right
I'm
there.
sure I did call that, honestly. We
Yeah.
do those passing mid plays really often.
Yeah. As long as you have 2 free touches, you can do them as much as you want. A big reason why SSG isn't consistently top 4 or isn't consistently winning regionals is because they do this when their first man's taking a 50 because Reddles is a monkey that always goes for these and oversteps third a lot. And that's a big fault to SSG. SSG has the team chem and the qualities of a team that could be number one in NA and possibly a world champion. But it's gonna be really hard for them to get that if they don't fix this problem of theirs, right? In the same way, you guys aren't typical Reddles and Arsenal.
Thanks for the follow, my guy.
So don't try to force trust plays that don't belong like they do. Because you ain't gonna get the results they will either, right? Keep that in mind. Overall, good time to call it, right? Perfectly good time to try for it. Good job practicing it overall, right? A little bit better of a pass. This would have been a goal every single time. Good try. SnoaF tries to cut in. Big thing when this is happening in a trust play, SnoaF needs to bail his third ASAP. The demo on Libra makes sense. It works, right? Keeping that pressure, making him jump early is fine. Wrapping out. Make sure you pre-bail here. Just give them this touch. Exorari will force this ball for you, right? Ideally, when we're recovering from a trust play, the guy that was the first extension just pre-bails, gets the side boost, wraps in, and then Exorari makes the force back as soon as possible to get you that turn in and that opportunity from here, right? We always recover our third man and try to get the counterattack from here in an unreasonable play like this. If you have enough boost and this ball is absolutely free for a shot on net, by all means, but you're getting dusted, right? There's no way you had boost to challenge and shoot that before stealth got there, right? So just pre-bail. You had no boost. Just get yourself out. You could have been landing here, full boost. Exorari could be cutting for you instead while you turn in for crisp. Boom, you're up. You get that overall. You keep it from going over the midline. Keep it inside their side, and that would be a lot more smoother. Comparatively to Exorari has come all the way back here, gets banged, and now he's just turning in. If Nibra, Nibra is going. If Nibra committed to this up, right, there's no way that Exorari can beat Nibra to that ball. Nibra basically gets a free solo play starting from a redirect for a double tap. Exorari should be able to defend that, considering how deep he is here overall. It's not a huge deal. Well, they really just gave you a free ball. Holy shit. What's Nibra? Does he have boost? 64, 76. What a bad read, Nibra. Okay. Yeah, Nibra could have stayed a little bit wider here, boosted up, and fucking redirected that on net all day. But he didn't, so you get a free ball out of this. Yeah, you ended up having a good third here, exorari. Good job isolating yourself out, covering, just letting them shoot that. Because, like, you can, if they backboard double tap it, you just jump up to backboard, you get it, you're safe. If they shoot it, you have enough space just to read the shot. It's all good, you're safe. It was needed, but really we should have SnoaF doing that to begin with because you could have forced out a earlier shot on them, which would have been easier to counterattack rather than giving the wall dribble by having SnoaF be a monkey and then you rotating out. Boom. Yeah, not ideal. Well, your second man's in general, so Gray is pushing to midfield here for you. Don't pre-jump this. You're just a monkey. Don't do this. If the ball ends up going for a redirect into midfield, it could come all the way across like this. It could go backboard. If it goes backboard, stealth beats you to this ball. If it goes straight down the line, do you even have a shot on net? If it floats, do you have a shot on net even? You know? Like, where are you drawing your line here at this point? Like, there's like exorari is gonna have a long recovery time because he just came off the wall for a double top. He used all his boost, right? He's gonna be floating down, chilling, and then when he lands, he's useless. You know this. You know he's useless. You just saw him use all of his boost. Don't trust him on this. Don't pre-jump this. Just wait. Wait. If the pass was great, you could jump for that after the fact. But this is a shit pass. This is not really shootable. You're getting beat by stealth every day of the week, right? You could be coming out, demoing Nibra now, a second man, wrapping back out as third, while SnoaF takes his free save and then rotating back into third here for SnoaF. And then Exo doesn't have to be panicking back to net because you're a dumb monkey that's still in recovery time, right? You could have been back post right now ready for Nibra's hit, right? As exorari's covering the possibility of the midfield failure. Bang, right? You're coming up. You clear it out now to SnoaF or Exo, whatever you want to do. And the counterattack opportunity is much better, right? There's less panic. There's much more concrete rotations, concrete positions. You did nothing in this entire play. Don't jump for that. That's a bad pass.
Mm-hmm.
God, what the fuck on? What's Nibra? Well, I just need to see this. Okay, that's a tough one. I don't blame Crisp. Okay. I thought Nibra had a shot and solo play on net, and I was like, why the fuck did Crisp call Nibra off? What the fuck? But like watching from Skyview sometimes, man, it just completely plays with your eyes. Bang, beat, speed, SnoaF. Okay, do we have a third? Who's our third?
SnoaF?
Is SnoaF the best third right now?
No.
Yeah. Do we? If we had to put money on, if like you guys, if I were able to pause the game right now and ask you guys who's third, would you guys know the answer?
I
Like
would say
if
SnoaF.
I mean, you would say SnoaF for sure because you would think it's SnoaF, but SnoaF like is just a monkey, so he's not, right? We wouldn't actually know
Respectfully,
who third is, right? We'd have an argument over this. We wouldn't know who's third.
yeah.
We wouldn't. This is just not great. So like, respectfully, SnoaF, stop being a fucking monkey. Coming back here, right? Exorari, Gray's on recovery in the corner. Just let Gray be second. If you want to be second, you can, because the opportunity does lay out to a faster one. But why the fuck with 100 boost are you coming out to get 100 boost, my guy? What's your goal here, SnoaF? I am lost. Even if you had 30, if you called second here, you're like, yo, I'm second, you know, taking a midfield, right? You went straight down mid here, grabbing 12s. How would you not have enough boost to take a free shot at midfield? Why do you need that? What are you going for? What's your objective here? I'm so lost. I don't know what to think of you. If you just stay third and you expect a trust play from Gray, right? Comparatively, what would you rather have? Gray passes ball out like this. You have to turn in last second to shoot it, or you start from here and shoot it.
That's a lot, Shani. I just had to starve still before you come back.
You wanted to starve somebody? You want to starve Stealth, who took your
That's what
corner
my
boost.
that's what my
Who
that's what
took
my
your
plan said. That was my
corner
plan,
boost?
bro. I don't
Who
remember
took your
everything,
corner boost? Who are you
Nice.
starving?
bro. I tried.
Replay review or roast review?
It's
Holy
both.
shit, my guy.
All the
Just
way.
go to third. You want to starve Stealth? Go to
That
third!
I
Look
was
at
a
that
bad plan. I
star!
was a bad plan. I
Notice-
know. I know.
Yeah, what are you doing, dude? Hey, when it comes down to it, there's a point where you do have to watch the opponents, but like, if you statistically just play your position with your team, you won't get scored on. If you play to not get scored on, right, you won't lose because you don't get scored on. It's as simple as that, right? Anyway, Greg gets the breakthrough. Up. Can't double tap that, unfortunately. Ideally here, right, our third man stays a little bit farther back, wrapping in from here instead. Faces crisp, boom, in. Much easier shot, double tap to make from here instead. Niebuhr's a little slow because he's low boost. On average, if they make a clear out that's a little gray zone like this, little tough, their extension's lower boost than our third. Our third beats the extension to that more times than not, right? If they make a perfect pass to extension, right, then our second man forces that off and our third man just repositions or just waits out if he's deep enough, right? And that's what it's going to pay out to overall. But in this case here, a third being a little more locked up here, a little more isolated for Crisp's hit, knowing that Crisp doesn't have the best hit here, right? If he just started them from here as third, wrapping in maybe, face in, through, Bray, facing in, Crisp, bang, in. A little bit later of a shot, but easier line to get a double tap and over on. You know you're beating Nibra, you know you're dusting everybody. This turns into a free goal, right? Just that little bit of isolation at third, this is a free goal now. They fuck up and you still get the free goal because they're bad. Understandable, right? When you're playing against bad teams, you get bad goals. It makes sense. There's no reason why that Stealth here should have not been able to save this, especially if you went back post up. Easy, like there's no reason why you shouldn't be saving this flat out, especially against a top 16 team or an RCS level team. This should be saved every single time. Through, done, blah blah blah, whatever. You guys get the goal. Now let's see how you guys threw this. Starting from here. Exorari bang, SnoaF dunks Exorari. A little unfortunate. Gray is all the way upfield here. How do you look like Gray? Okay. Your mindset is not in the mindset of defense. I would put it that way. Your positioning isn't terrible. Don't pre-flip here. This is terrible. Don't pre-flip. Drive, just take your time, right? But you turn into midfield. Why? Are you trying to turn away because you thought Chris was going to bang it? If your thought is that I need to turn away because Crips needs to bang it, then you're not covering defense. You should just be driving casually so you can just pre-jump Crisp or read Crisp's hit, be up now, and then 50 stealth or dunk him. Or in the same way with a little bit more, like you're in a pretty decent position. Like you slow down here. If you just drove casually, built momentum at full speed, bang, you could be dusting stealth for a double tap right now. You know what I mean? And I started a little bit farther back than you were, you know? And so it's
Yeah.
like that's the missed opportunity is that you literally could have just not flipped, built momentum after, you know, where you would have been flipping instead, and then easily had a double tap here for a free goal because Chris was overstepped. In the same way, this challenge here needs to be a 50. And in the same side, with how close you are, if you just plan to, you know, coast and then pre-jump for the mid to dunk stealth, this probably would have paid out better because even if he hits it over you like you did, you'd be landing back down here, driving back now, and you're just that little bit different, right? That little bit different on the way back. And then your exorari goes up. You're already coming back to back post third. You're covering the range. Nibra shoots. Your snow forces for you. I mean, you're basically third anyway, actually. Is it because you pre'd backboard? Arguably. No, exo. Oh my god. Gray's cracked. Holy shit. This should be on Gray's montage on YouTube. God damn, Gray. All right. Don't pre the backboard here as a starting point. Because if Niebuhr does go high and he goes up, it's going to be a slow dribble anyway because he's going vertical. So you can literally just drive out the backboard after the fact and go get it just fine. And if it goes low, now you're missing the opportunity where you could have turned in and forced stealth earlier if you felt like it was necessary or possible. But it's not, so you're not going to do that. You're still going to wake around and still take the same save that you were anyway. But you're just starting from here like normal, right? Or you're driving through. The momentum built for stealth. You're up. You save it like you did anyway, right? Normal shit. Then Exo here is really where we need to correct this. On your way back here, Exo, stealth or SnoaF is extension, right? So you're filling in third after Gray. So wait for Gray's save. If Gray misses the save, there's nothing you can do here. It's a goal. If Gray gets the save, if he clears it, great. If he doesn't, that's where you come in. So slow down, chill, boom, you're in, you're up, and you pass it out to SnoaF here on the right wall. Right? Done. You gotta let Gray just make the save. You gotta make sure you're immediately able to cover the entirety of this front net and the front half of this. This is your playable range. vertical as well, right? Also the vertical opportunities. From the second that gray gets that save, you need to be covering all of this range. And when it spills out and does its thing over here, you need to be able to wrap in and go get that. That's what you got to be able to do. That's your job here as the guy rotating back. You need to be covering the entirety of net. Because you came in a little too fast and early, you had to wrap in from outside like so, and that just left Nebula the opportunity to shoot. And that's where this kind of comes in for a goal. The Gray fucking clutches it. Unbelievable. At that point, it's basically already done. If Gray could clutch the save, it's just delayed and inevitable at this point because we just gave them 2 free shots in the center line. We don't have enough time to rotate to get those back in time. Could SnoaF, technically speaking, grab 12 right here, turn to the right, pre-flip back to net, boom, come in, save it right here? Sure. Am I going to ask him to do it at this point? No. I'm not. We should have just had Exo do it to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but could he? Sure, he could have, right? Anyone could clutch this up at the end of the day. Greg could have gotten a better save, technically speaking. Maybe not, but maybe could have, right? Exo could have just clutched it from the beginning of that, right? There's always room for someone to clutch it up in those ranges. It just is what it is. But it's important to know what your role is in that position, right? So, like when you're coming back and rotating back, you have to expect Gray to fail his save in some way. That's not a goal, right? And that's your objective, is to cover all those ranges first. Anyway, SnoaF gets it off to the sidewall. Crisp reads it, throws it away. A lot of times when you guys are grabbing this corner boost, okay, so first of all, let's actually wrap this up first. When we take this kickoff, it's a double diagonal. Is this one double diagonal? I wasn't really paying attention. Yeah, double diagonal. Okay, cool. So when exorari goes back for the corner boost here and turns this way, that's good. That's a good line to do here, but only if we're identifying him as third to begin with, right? Is that what we're doing? The guy that wraps here is basically our last man back starting from here.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Expect failure then. So you're doing a great job wrapping towards net. That's what you have to do here. That's what the ideal situation is, right? But just don't push forward too aggressively. If anything, coast, chill, let Crisp have the hit, and then come in from here and 50 or dunk Nebra, right? Make this happen. Nebra's playing really fast in this, but you could be 50 Nebra here. And the same way if you did want to wait back and you want to stay out so SnoaF cuts you instead, and then cover it from goal line as Nebra makes that shot and you make the save right here, the 50, sure. Very plausible, that's fine. Then we can have SnoaF cut in a little bit earlier for Nebra. Like like SnoaF will be coming in to block stealth, to pass the stealth, bump out stealth, or blow through here as it hits the ground, and you're just waiting for the shot, right? And then you jump up and make the save here while SnoaF could have easily made that 50, right? But we don't really know who's third here because you pushed up. Now you're in this gray zone of mid where you haven't done anything. You get bumped out like a monkey, right? If you got bumped out over here, at least SnoaF would know that you were third, that he's third now or some shit, right? We need to know what you're getting bumped out of. We need to know what your position was so SnoaF knows what he has to cover, right? And that range of opportunities. SnoaF here on this read. 3 boosts. Yeah, you pre-flip back to third to start. Yeah, there's just not much you can really do there. If you had like 20, I could argue that you could have boosted through and just tried to 50 stealth, but you couldn't. You only had 3. Yeah, icing up that third, making sure they're ready to go from the get-go is really important there. That's a really important deal overall, because if we do that, then SnoaF can just aim for the pass while you just aim for the shot, and then we can just have SnoaF with his low boost aim for 1 objective, not 3, right? And just lead in right here to 50 stealth, and then SnoaF can guarantee that 50 into this range right here, right? Anyway, that's that goal. Little bit of kickoff reassurance, more or less, and I'll basically line that one up. Remember, when you guys, after that kickoff, you're going right into the rotation, so your positions really matter, right? When you're in that third position, you are covering worst case scenario. Similar thing here overall with Exo. You grab this. In this situation here, it's similar, but a little bit opposite. Once the play doesn't spill out into this zone here for you, because that's the objective, is to try and get it here for you. Once it does the opposite, or does anything other than that, anything in the pink, right? You're basically going to last man back or going for the save if it's in front of net, of course, right? You can definitely do that, right? But you're going to last man back. You're going to third. So when you turn in here and you make this engagement, use less boost, make a sharper turn because you'll be going for a lower speed, and then wrap in for Nebra. And then this is really awkward. You can see there's shots. You wait for stealth shot, right? You jump up, maybe try to read that and get the opportunity. You'll go backward for it, right? In the same way, if you're fast enough, you're slow enough, you turn in, you vertical, and you 50 this with Nebra here, or dunk him actually. You'd be dusting stealth to this because he's actually calling off Nebra here. Right, you could be putting this on the net. Technically, SnoaF could be demoing Crisp. That could be a free goal opportunity there. You like the second that play doesn't lead into you, you have to plan to defend the net first, third first, right? Get yourself back into last man back mentality. The second that happens, that's got to be your first thing you do. Good force there. SnoaF is a little overstepped. SnoaF stepping out. SnoaF waiting mid now. exorari, yeah. I imagine SnoaF never called that he was mid here at all. And so that leaves some confusion for exorari. Once you get the side boost here, you should be able to see SnoaF. Nope, still on his blind side. SnoaF, you gotta call mid. exorari, wrap back out, be third, Chris bangs, you're in. Boom, counterattack right here. Opportunity, right? This is where we need to be making this engagement.
Do you suggest calling numbers while we play?
You can call mid, you could call whatever the fuck you want as long as it means 2. Like, SnoaF could be like mid for pass, you know? Following gray, you know, supporting gray, whatever, you know, I don't give a fuck whatever the fuck your guys' comms are. As long as they fulfill the idea of we're isolating the difference between worst and best case scenarios, right? Or intended and unintended plays. As long as we're identifying those, that's all I give a shit about. Use whatever names you want it to be. You could call it striker if you want to. I don't give a fuck. You know? Striker, defender, chaser. I don't give two shits what you want to call them. At the end of the day, as long as you're identifying those ideas. So whatever comms work you guys are already using and work best for that, start using them. SnoaF, you gotta call this midfield. That's basically what it comes down to. In the same way, exorari is your extension. If you don't want to use comms here, SnoaF, and you want to be a silent little bitch, then just stay third because he's extended. He's recovering. You see him too? He's 2. You see him? He's 2. Just chill. Don't push in. Let this guy wrap in front of you. Stay third, right? Let Chris get the bang here. You come in. You get the clear, right? You make that happen, right? One of you got to be third. SnoaF, this is your fault. Through, over, exo, boom. Clear, okay. Gray's doing kind of the same thing. This is a 50 that's happening. Gray, don't push out to this too early, right? Or it might be. Niebuhr's there to dunk it, right? So Niebuhr's in this zone here. It's not technically free. Stay third a little longer. They're playing together 1 and 2. You can push into latest third. You're still gonna be third here, right? There's Exo taken up. You're just chilling for Chris counterattack. Boom, you're in. Free counterattack done, right? You're there a little bit quicker. You still get the opportunity, so it's fine. Not the worst thing in the world. The only difference is that you're turning around during this time, and then you're facing away from it. So now if they ever did drop this, like in the midfield right behind you, so let's say Chris from this 15, it pinches out like this, you're really awkward right here, rather than just facing it the whole time, and then going and getting this opportunity to shoot it, right? We're missing some opportunity in the midfield here because you're too aggressive. Oh, they really dropped that. Almost dunked. SnoaF pre-jump up. Nice. Overall, solid third line here. Ideally, no, that's pretty good. I'd say that's pretty solid. They ended up getting a little bit stronger hit than you expected. If you expected a stronger hit, start a little bit farther back so you can get more control in that touch. But overall, that was a solid third. Nice. Bumped out. Okay.
Wait, go back. Watch from Exo's point of view. What is he supposed to do here? Is he just supposed to try and
As
defend
third
it?
right here, yeah, just don't boost so much at the start. Give them the solo play to start,
That,
right?
the shit happens to me like that all the time where I get air dribbled on, so I want to know a different point of
Yeah,
view to
I
defend it.
ideally one way. So pre-turning out and getting yourself back to third, re-isolating is good. That's a good starting point. But you're burning a lot of boost to do that, so it makes it hard for you to vertical and get crisp. Ideally, we're already third, so you can just get in front of him vertical and then just take the 50 here. And you're not trying to blow through him. When they have a solo play, you don't try to give me the right one. You don't try to blow through them to get it onto their side. You just vertical to get it to a corner.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a faster recovery back down. You're less extended and so on. And then when they get this possession, they can go slow. And then you just fall into extension. And if it fails, you just wrap back out to third, right? Back and over again. So ideally, we start a little bit more isolated, get that vertical, get that opportunity. In the same way, SnoaF, Gray. This is a bad pass. They have the free save. Oh, honestly, shit. Could you get the demo? Let me see what you're looking at, Gray. If you can get this demo here, I'll get this to you.
I thought I
Shit.
went. Well, I hit him. Baloney. Look at the sparks.
Yeah, but you hit him after he hit the ball, so like, it doesn't matter.
I guess. I don't know. Demos for me are always fucked when I have 80 ping.
Honestly, if your demos are going to be inconsistent like this, just don't go for it. If we get you wrapping out sooner, so you grab 12 here to 20, you're staying ahead of it, you could turn in for Exo right here and force Chris to throw it away, and then there's no solo play to get anymore, right? Or the same way you could be back passing this to Exo with your 20 boost. So turning into back pass this, and then Exo gets a free solo play. Because basically, I want Exo to isolate from the get-go. You know what I mean? I want it to be a little bit farther. I want to take less time on, or I want to take more time on the way up. So using less boost, using less momentum on the initial start of the play. And so if we get them isolated by having you not go for that bump, like the bump here is super strong if you can get it. But if you're playing on 80 ping and it's like, you know, it's like maybe I get it, maybe I don't.
Do you think that it
I'll
should
just
have been a
give it up.
better, like a demo sort of situation, or no?
Well, like it's just out of your range. You know what I mean? Like it to a degree. Like if you jumped ahead of him and you bumped him right here, you probably would have saved it yourself either way. but you at least would have bumped them off of the getting that save and would have been less control for them as a team, right? But like that's about as most as I think you can get from this. And the same way, if your bumps are just gray zone, like you don't know if you're gonna get it or not because you're playing on that ping because it's always like hit or miss. Then just play for like less committing. Like this is a commitment, right? You're making a huge commitment to do this. You're using all your boost.
I thought I
you're
could
throwing
get it.
stuff
That's
out.
why I did it.
I know, but like that's the thing. Like you have to understand, like you have to accept that this is going to be a weak point for you because of ping, right? So you have to keep that in your mindset when you're focusing on your play style, right? This bump could be really, really strong. Now, granted, let's say Nebro's on back post right here and he was driving in to catch the ball, right?
That would've been
If you're
easy.
pushing through to demo on the ground
Yeah.
and go through, you're not committing. You're just turning through to
Yeah.
pressure him. There's no commitment. You could always turn back in on that and still get the save. So demoing those kind of ideas always can do those. There's no reason why ping should stop you from doing those. But on the idea of jumping for a high commitment on this, we could guarantee Exo a free ball comparatively and continue this pressure and long-term opportunity, right?
High risk, high reward, right?
Yeah, high risk, high reward, quite literally, right? And that's kind of what that play turns into, and that's why it bites you in the ass a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. I completely understand that.
Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, overall, like if you just give them that touch and you just stay ahead of it, you could have cut off and passed back to exorari for free, gotten the 50, forced it back out in some way. There's a range of things that definitely could work here or
Right.
could have happened. It's preference to a good degree. But if you have ping that ends up causing you to miss certain demos or a lot of demos in general, I wouldn't play for high risk demos like that. Yeah. Now, if you're someone that plays like literally at the server, like the server's in your basement, by all means, you can go for those all you want, man. You'll clutch it up every time. Okay, if you didn't make the challenge, don't go for the boost deal. It's just bringing your this is turning into a trust play when this should just be a standard worst case scenario, right? 2 comes back out to 3. Now you're still at field, so if Nebra clears this on net, like if Nebra wasn't a monkey, let's say someone, let's say Nebra stayed outside here, wait for SnoaF shot, bang, cleared it, right? And stealth was still extension like he's supposed to be. Bang, redirect. You could have been blocking the shot, but right now you're stealing boost, right? This turns this into a trust play when it shouldn't be, right? It's not even a lateral pass. We didn't try a trust play here. If you didn't make the challenge, don't steal the boost. You need to rotate back to third here first. Just for the sake of if these guys were good, they would shot this on you, right? And in this case here, you wrap back around. You're turning it pretty aggressively. You one of you needs to call third between X or you. One of you needs to be last. Ideally, you should have already called third and just been back so Exo can cut here instead, or you're vertically from here, throwing it to the left wall here for Exo instead, right? Getting those different ranges of things. Good try the save here with Exo. Damn.
Yeah, I remember that. I was pissed I didn't get
Dude,
it
it
back.
looked like you hit it past him too for a second there. That's so cheesy. Damn, good try. That's what it is. Yeah. We could force Gray out sooner though, overall. And if we get Gray in a perfect situation as well, like he went third to start, collected his 12, turned in 12, boom, stealth hit, you're up. You 50 it here. There's no solo play anymore to defend.
Force him
right?
earlier, yeah.
Exactly, right? We guarantee it. And then if it's if you bump off stealth right there because you missed the challenge to dunk him or to get the 50, then that ball just turns to Exo for free. With Exo turns in with full boost either way. So
That makes sense.
So icing up that third earlier. In general, whenever you're going for those earlier third rotations and you're making it happen, you're prolonging the game to a degree, right? You're not keeping insane pressure right now. But to keep in mind, you guys got 3 free goals without even really utilizing those thirds to begin with. You know what I mean? You didn't even your shots didn't even come from those trust plays. You got just great breakthroughs from extensions, a quick pass play into second man. I think that paid out really well at one of them. If we just go through these again real quick, these goals you guys did get. This one in over. Yeah, literally a worst case scenario 3-1 motion from SnoaF. Could have been a goal right there early, but they fucked up, right? This is literally just SnoaF getting a 3-1 motion. So if SnoaF was a little more isolated, we could have talked about how that could have been a goal faster and easier. Same way here, right? Exorari Gray, Exorari cuts, right? Extension cuts in. SnoaF's not even used this whole time. SnoaF's aggressive, but he's not even used, it's just a free goal, right? We never even use third man, even though he's aggressive like that. And it's here as well. Bang, 3-1 motion from SnoaF, dunks it, fakes out stealth and gets it right. It was literally SnoaF wasn't aggressive here as third. He was all the way back, right? He could have been a little bit farther back technically, right? It's just a quick 3-1 fucking motion with a low 50, and it's as simple as that. You guys aren't even using aggressive thirds to get your goals. So it's why are you even playing for them, all they're doing is giving up these 3 goals instead, you know? You literally brought the game from a 3-0 lead to a tie because you kept on doing this overstep thirds. But it's like you guys could have held that 3-0 lead the whole time because your goals didn't even come from holding them. Like literally Exo right here, you know? It's like we just have long-term pressure here if Exo just like stays third, iced up, wraps over, stays deep from Gray, right? Counter attack opportunity. Chris makes the hit. He's in, right? Boom. We keep the pressure. There's nothing they can do here, right? Long-term pressure, more opportunities. 50. Gray, SnoaF, Exo cuts in early, okay. SnoaF in, 50, nothing. SnoaF, Gray, Exo, okay. That
I
defensive
remember that
rotation
too.
wasn't like super smooth, but like everything, you guys were all playing different positions.
I
You
was
were
not
feeling pretty well.
expecting that dude to hit that shit like that.
Yeah, it
I'm not
happens.
gonna lie.
You're pre-jumping, like man, for someone with bad ping, you pre-jump for a lot of fucking risky shit. Like what the fuck? Oh, he'll hit it right into me. I guarantee it. Pre-jump. No, no. Like it's
Uh,
like literally, if he has a bad hit on this, it's
that
a
was the
free goal
one ball I
either
remember
way. You know what I
kind of
mean?
for that I was like, what the fuck? Oh shit.
Libra, bang. If Exo just stayed third here again, right? We just bubble him across. He sees the plays going to the right, you know? Libra has the hit, face in, boom, up. Pff. Look at stealth. Look at this monkey. Look at this open net. You would have dusted Libra this hit. That's an open net. That's the difference, right? You can get more free goals, right? By icing up those thirds. You'll keep better long-term pressure. You guys didn't score a single goal this game through that aggressive third. Not a single one. Every single one either was because coincidentally third was in the right spot and they got the free breakthrough for the solo play, or like, you know, they just dunked these kids, or we had a pass to extension where extension just fucking shot it. You know what I mean? Like, not a single one of these goals came from an overstep third. So you're literally just throwing away defense. That's all. SnoaF, why are you pre-flipping? Stop. Just chill. 1 and 2. Slow down. Wait for Niebuhr to clear.
Yeah, I think it's just we
Bang.
have a big problem with the third man stuff. So if we
You
fix
know?
that, I think the game will be a lot
Yeah.
smoother.
And it's like a lot of times when people do those third mans, it's because they're scared extension won't show up to that midfield free goal, right?
Yeah.
Play every extension, play every third man deep, and you won't miss any opportunities. Because if extension's always there, then third doesn't have to push in. If extension can't literally get there and he has to rotate out and go get the boost, that's fine. Just call it. Third man will show up late, and you'll have the same opportunities that you guys usually have, right? But we won't be losing anything because you'll always have those thirds defensively, so you won't be dropping these goals either. You know, there's a lot of opportunity here, but you're just like you're giving up so many free. You're giving up so much free pressure on their side of the field, you know, by keeping the counter attack, and you're giving them free opportunities to break over your head because your thirds are just constantly in recovery time. 2 rotating back here, no state extension. One of you calls third, one of you calls extension. What Gray's literally 1, right? He's challenging the ball, so he's 1. What you guys need to isolate your differences, right? If you both go back to third, then no one stays up to force Niebuhr to throw this away to bad touch, or to even just does Niebuhr this ball, right? Because like if let's say Exo here stays in the field, starts cut off midfield here, boom, pinch in. He's dusting Niebuhr. He could literally just throw this to the sidewall behind Niebuhr. Could throw it right over here. He can even chip this technically on net over Niebuhr. If you're really cracked out, then Niebuhr's panicking. Then you get that pressure and also put a shot on net. Right? There's a lot you can gain here overall. Same thing with like SnoaF. SnoaF is extension right here. Right? Stay a little bit wide. Exorari is going to get behind you. You stay extension. Boom, you cut in. Boom. Same thing. You could literally be shooting this, putting off the left side behind Niebuhr. However you want to do it. One of you guys has to stay extension. We don't need 2 people rotating the net. That's just extreme. That's so over the top. Boom. Over. Nice. That's actually a good read on exorari. Don't turn upfield though. Turn back to net first. Then face him, Chris hit, drive in, boom, intercept here. Right, you'll get there just a little bit quicker, a little bit more confidently. But as third, you're supposed to cover that midfield in that situation when 2 people are on that left side of the field. A little bit of a trust player. Trust player can be fine. Gray can see free touch opportunity from Exo. Call the trust play right now. That's fine. Exo just needs to get that pass. I think it's the second time now you guys have made trust play between Exo and Gray, right? But a little bit farther back, right? You're always pass a little too far ahead, Exo. But you know, clean up those direct cross passes. Like you're passing to a second man here, not a third man. You know what I mean? And like you need to be passing to a third man. That's got to be the objective. And that'll basically turn into a free opportunity for Gray or possible shot net or goal, depending on the situation. Bang. Where are you driving, Gray? I know you need boost, man, but like,
Good question.
yeah, like 12 here, turn back around, go through stealth, whatever. 12, wrap around 12. Stealth forces for you. In 12, up if you want. Try to dunk stealth, or just wait for the shot like you are anyway, and then you just go for the save either way. You'll have a little bit more boost though, and that'll be the difference. Unless you got side boost.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, you definitely did because it wasn't even there. Yeah, you're pre-flipping to go sideways. You're pre-flipping to go everywhere. You never even checked if that was there or if that was there before you pre-flip. Just check for your boost. Pick a line. Pick your diamond. You know, a couple more pads or wrap back out. Whatever. Blah blah blah. Couple
Fair.
bit more boost overall. You got it.
All right. I gotta go. So
Yeah.
I don't know
All right. We'll
whatever
finish
you
up right
guys
here then.
think.
We'll just go over the last goal.
Okay.
Okay, 3 people on that. SnoaF is the extension. Exorari is going into 1. Then SnoaF's going to 3. Gray's extension. Back post start in 50. Okay, yeah, a little aggressive. Exorari here, the starting spot. Turns back around. Oh, that's a tough one. That's a really tough one to read. Yeah, ideally I would say SnoaF as his way back out here. Gets a little bit closer line with more speed, then comes over, covers right behind Exo on the line here, and then can jump up and follows through and is blocking that short set of net. For a perfect situation, obviously. Does this start from? All right, Exorari hold third. Gray. You could have stayed facing away at backboard, then turned in casually. Here's the chip up challenge here. That'd have been fine. Oh, you did. Very close. Where's your boost? You had 100. How the fuck did you whiff this?
I
Oh my
just
god.
stuck.
Holy shit, you're a monkey. All right. Then Exo, done. SnoaF, awkward, gray. Back post. Turn the wrong way. Damn. Okay,
I
stop.
remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn towards net to cover backboard first. SnoaF, awkward, right? 50, up, straight, get the save.
I
Right?
don't know how he scored that, to be honest with you.
He just cracked.
He
That's
does
why
that shit
stealth.
all the
That's
time.
why stealth is what he is. Why he was X at a certain point in time. I don't know if he still is. That's why he is what he is. Anyway, that's that for all of it. It's literally like when it comes down to it, you guys already have good pressure, but it's not coming from your third man. You can have better pressure by fixing your third man, right? As we can see. And overall, there's a lot that can be gained in general. There's just so much that's overall lost because your third man's overstepping, so you lose long-term pressure. You're losing free saves that should just be free saves, and some free goals as well. That game, like technically speaking, if you guys played a perfect third man with good shooting accuracy, that game could have been 5-0. You know, you'd have never given up any of those 3 goals. Actually, maybe that fourth one was basically an OT goal, so we won't even count that, right? And then you guys literally had one free counterattack that they popped up that third man could have easily dusted and had open net for Stealth's a monkey. And then there's another one in there. There's probably 2 more in there that could have been goals, but I think you could have scored one of them, I'm sure, out of those 2. 50-50 chance kind of thing. But yeah, there's no reason why that game couldn't have been 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. But it starts by taking that third man defensive,
Yeah,
There's no
we
rush.
we'll work on that and see, and
Yeah.
then play some and get more
And
replays
in the
on
few
that.
times where those trust plays could have been good, you can keep those trust plays. Like literally, Gray identified both of them. So like when you're identifying those, Gray, that's fine. It's just outside of those trust plays, where it's literally a free touch into you for that midfield pass. Make sure you're icing up that third as well. It's kind of simple as that.